And now from Marcoon to Odo.
Odo, regular season, didn't he only play tanks?
I think for sure lower.
Also lower.
Odo Omni had 42 kills.
Wow, that's trash, dude.
You had 36.
I suck. That's really low.
And now compared to Odo Omni, Finn.
Actually, this is not. I'm not certain, but I think to me comes to mind a player that tries to play carry. Very important here is tries.
Actually, he played lots of tanks as well. I would say
Higher.
So Finn was lower.
Higher.
No, I'm telling you, Finn was lower.
No.
Yeah, he was.
No, I don't think so.
Lower?
Ah, that doesn't say anything good about Finn since he was playing like Irelia. He didn't play his Kled.
Yeah.
That's why.
So now, compared to Finn, was Broken Blade higher or lower?
I mean, BB had for sure more kills than Finn. Like, there's no way. BB, like, I remember he was really smurfing, so he for sure had more.
I mean, BB must have more.
The next one is also super important because as we go through this replay, the whole situation that Mad Lions have set up is so beautiful. Elioya, trying to press the button, very hard for me, I'm very old and washed up. Elioya goes into the jungle, Hilly has Pry on bot, they push out Bo. All of a sudden Niski feels so safe because Bo is low HP and they took over the whole bot side jungle. He's thinking not in a million years will Bo gank him from bottom side, but what does Bo do? He waits for Mad Lions to go away. Bo in a very difficult position is going for the Niski gank. And Niski's pushing forward. He's winning lane against Perks. He's feeling good. And all of a sudden, this jungler that got pushed out. Elioya was saying in comms maybe Bo is completely out of the game. And all of a sudden, we have this KO that saves the game. We don't need to watch this part.
Something unlikely that he'll be able to get the kill off the back of this.
I mean, Kobe still has flash cleanse, can also dash across that wall. Neon going forward. Kobe looking for him. Ultra lane, the flash is enough! Kobe takes him, Nature's Grasp now used. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Perks unleashing the spheres of death on Dale, but not quite enough to spell his doom. 113 is shadowing that bot lane. Bo and Kaiser have to back away. Neon burnt his cleanse in that last affair as well.
Oh wow, another kill easily going over to Kobe. And Neon, he just expected Kobe and Jonghoon to have gone back to base.
Yeah.
Especially with the Maokai hovering. He thought to himself, why would he bother sticking around here? The reset makes way more sense, but as our observers are highlighting, completely in fog. Neon wasn't expecting even remotely. You can see Kaiser was still a little suspicious here. 113 trying to set up the wave here.
Is it a wave or is it a particle for Photon as he gets shut down in the top lane?
And another kill is just funneled over to Kobe. They have the Herald that they can drop to just funnel even more plates into Kobe's back pocket. Finn, no.
Going all out, just this once. He's looking to kill off Perks. Perks still has the flash, unleashed power. Finn, you don't win these! We finally found a champ that can stand up to Cassante.
I mean, you just made it easier for Perks. You reduced your health bar, he was able to stack up the spheres, and he had the damage to be able to get the solo kill down onto Finn. Perks definitely keeping things optimistic for Vitality. The gold remains dead even for now, but Perks is just dominating in the 1 versus 1. I just had a quick look at his stacks, and he's at 63 already, nearly 12 minutes into the game. Will be a trade of towers. But that, of course, the stacks does mean that the Q and W will now be empowered from the side of Perks as well. It's that 100 mark, which will, I think, really start to get lethal. We'll have that execute on the ultimate as well. Regardless, though, gold overall dead even. Vitality securing themselves another dragon.
And the LEC on Instagram actually said, how long can Bo's win streak continue? And I don't know if Vitality were confused or just a little bit pessimistic, because they said it's going to be 13 and infinity for Bo, which means he'll lose every game from now on.
Till the end of time?
Till the end of time.
Wow. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good look from, Vitality not standing up next to them.
They had faith in Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there you go. Some basic math for those at home. It's not normally how that works.
No. Infinity, is what they meant. Yeah.
I see it now.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
It's like the format. It's actually really simple, but you need to have it explained to you a few times.
Around, you know what I mean? Just that. Just swap the numbers. There we are. Silly Vitality. Anyway, let's see if they can convert that into a tower. Right now, they have their eyes on this mid lane one. Perks is a threat, does have the ultimate available. Sacrifice the Herald in order to secure this Dragon Wing condition. Maybe they can actually get this.
They weren't able to get the eye open. 113 secures it, but his life will be forfeit. The Rift Herald Eye will sit there. Not taken by anyone. 113 was able to get it, but Smite not enough to save his own life. And Vitality now, 3 dragons to the good, as you say, 1,000 gold in the lead as well. And even though Astralis have this hyper carry, this Zeri, I'm not really able to find an effective way to move her around the map. Her lack of range, her lack of ability to step up into the face of Vitality is really causing a struggle for them.
Well, I would argue the biggest problem Astralis actually have is they're engaged.
Yeah.
Like, how do you start the fight?
Sprint at them.
Right, and Maokai's like, sure. Overall, a well-played fight, I would say, from Astralis. They are looking for the flank.
Do you see it? Oh, Cobby step forward, Lightning Crash coming out, cleanse away now. It's a 3v4, Astralis trying to bounce around this one as much as they can. The unleashed power not enough to kill off Cobby, and now the fight really begins with Photon! Just destroys them! Smacks them down where they stand, but the rest of Astralis are here to fight. 113 looking for one, he takes down Perks, Neon and Photon trying to get away. Dale sped up, Shirelius as well. Dodges the house, steps to the side. The stun card, the ward in the bush is enough to kill off Photon, and the chase continues. Spectral Maw just short, and lands hair away from hitting onto Neon there. He's able to escape.
But it's a successful flank that comes out.
This Gnar can put down. 113 dashing back, dashing forward. Photon trying to get in with the Mega Gnar, but even the Gnar is not enough to help him out. Astralis hold firm in their base.
Astralis find themselves with a massive kill advantage, but it's only bought them a little bit more time. Still, very well played fight and just a big overcommitment from Vitality. We saw Neon diving underneath the tower to trying to get the execute onto Dior. It's really set up easy play for Astralis to turn it around. So you see here the flash from Dior. He does get rooted up, and this is when Neon gets a little bit greedy and Perks oversteps. 113 with the immediate engage onto the backline. Forces so much HP away from Perks, and as you rightly said, a good ultimate comes out from Jonghoon.
Unable to find their way into that Dragon Pit. The second inhibitor tower will fall. Cobby still here though. Dale looking for that gold card. Rapid fire cannon on the route. The final spark. The ace of the hole. Someone block it! Someone block it! I know we hate Yuumi, but you've got to protect your teammates. Jonghoon down, and now Vitality truly marching into the base of Astralis.
I think they're going to look to disengage off the back of this. They know that Baron is alive. If they overstay and die, it could result in a Baron. So they're not going to risk it for now, but Astralis, they're on the chase. They want to try and delay these recalls as much as possible. Neon with the traps, though, going to be obnoxious. But after securing a pick like that, it's going to be difficult for Astralis to really convert it into much. But wow, big blunder, I would say, for Astralis. You can just see, we're actually going to get a replay of this top fight and this pick onto Yuumi. They're just dashing back and forth. What happened
There's
to
the light binding, dashes into him.
Oh, you hate to see it. There's nothing you can do, Jonghoon. Nice binding that from Kaiser.
And that's the power of something like Caitlyn Lux, right? You just chuck him out. One moment is all it takes for Jonghoon to not be looking where he's going and just looking at his teammate. Doesn't see the projectile coming in and gets caught in transit. Astralis now 2 inhibitors down. They've pushed out the waves as best as they can, but it's 4 minutes before they respawn and that ward will be seen. They know that it's just been placed as well. Maybe hoping for Vitality to step a little bit too far forward. Bo up towards the Smite going down there. Nature's Grass as well. Photon tries to get onto the backline, but he is all by himself here. 113 separated from the rest of the team. Photon low, getting chased away. Cobby can't quite get in range to put the damage down. And the Chemtech Soul perhaps helping you out just a little bit. Perks goes golden. Photon back in, Nard, them both back. Cobby already shut down. Deo next on the menu. And now it's Ving, Jonghoon, and 113 to do it all, but they just can't do enough. 113 stops time, but you can't buy any more of it. Jonghoon chased down to round it out, and Vitality will look to close out the game.
Exquisite play from Photon as he punishes the aggressors of Dior and Kobe. He waits for the right moment to throw out that ultimate and is very quickly able to combo them to set up Vitality to shut them down. Vitality, after 31 minutes, will find the kill lead, will find the Nexus, and will secure their 4-game winning streak.
4-0 for Vitality, 14-0 for Bo in professional play now. Vitality continue to march towards a showdown with G2 on Monday.
Overall, I would say like there were a lot of positives for Astralis in the early game. I liked how they enabled Kobe. I liked how they punished, I think, a lot of the mistakes that we saw from the Vitality bot lane.
And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for the second game of the day. BDS Fnatic. Stay tuned.
You have push up, right? Yeah, push up. Let's just push and then I go mid, okay? So just wait for me. Right okay, never say fog up. Help push mid and come too much. Okay, let's do Drake after. Okay.
The smite comes down though. Shio gonna walk away with the red buff.
Reckless. Humanoid coming in from the side as well. BDS could be corralled into a choke point here. Shio trying to get away. Humanoid so low. The rain of arrows isn't enough. Reckless has to flash the wall. Crowny not willing to let him get away right now. The Spectral Maw hits Crowny and he will not get enough damage.
What am I watching right now?
The League of Legends, ready? None of this will scale for mid-game.
Wow, okay, so both sides committing so many flashes so early on. Humanoid ends up dying in Fnatic's jungle. Adam, oh, he's popped the ghost. He's chasing after Wonder.
Wonder looking for the Q3 knockup here. Flashes under the tower, tries to bring Adam back, but Adam refuses to continue to play that game.
That wave in a bit of an awkward spot, but overall good trade from Wonder. So like, there's a couple things that we need to break down, and let's have a look at this replay. So again, the initial idea from Razzle, because we get the flash out.
Because you've got a flash of your own, you're going to chase any further. Decides against it.
So being a 1-for-1 on the bot side of the map, Razzle had to commit a lot there to secure that kill onto Labrov. And sure, you can argue, yeah, you got a kill, but in exchange, you gave Crowny one as well, which means that he's only going to continue to get further and further ahead. Adam now moving down the mid.
I think it was just a little bit greedy from the BDS bot lane. They really wanted this plate. They really wanted to take it before the 14-minute mark and the turret plate's falling off. And so they didn't think about the fact that their jungler was backing and the fact that Razzle could be in the area and the fact that if Labrov gets hit by an arrow, he's likely to go down.
Well, I still think that Razzle had to commit a lot to secure this play, right? So I wouldn't even criticize BDS that much personally. I think that the idea, was fine. Of course, it does still commit a lot of summoner spells. I think the bigger problem for BDS is there wasn't really anything they could trade elsewhere on the map.
I get that.
And I think that arguably there could have been more, but still, a tower ends up going down. Cassante looking for something on the nuke.
Arrow. Nuke dashes away from it, but with the flash, Razzle's on his way. Humanoid in there as well, and Labrov is knocked back. And Fnatic have pounced in the top lane. That's one already. That make it two, as Labrov will fall. Sheo can only stand and watch as Humanoid escapes as well.
What a great play from Fnatic. The flank from Wonder to then use the ultimate to bring Nuke over the wall like that. You know, I know people are a little frustrated with Cassante right now, but that was cool. That was a really cool play, and then in conjunction with Humanoid's ultimate, just a really great setup and a play that Fnatic needed to make because the game was very quickly falling out of their hands. And Adam, we talked about cross maps. He's going to get himself another 600 gold. He's sitting on a grand total of 7.5k, 2,500 more than Wonder right now.
And has that level advantage as well. Basically a full level ahead. Crowny puts down the arrow. Razzle looking for the chase here, but the Chain of Corruption will stop him. Next big objective for these two teams. In about 2.5 minutes. Rifthold is up there as well, actually, if BDS want to fight around it, but the next Drake you have to feel very much a key point of contention. Labrov once again hit with the arrow, but Sheo was waiting! And it's one for BDS, make it two. Razzle falls, Humanoid does as well, and the Rifthold will be started by BDS.
Wow, and BDS immediately answer back with 2 kills of their own. Humanoid and Razzle effectively face-checked. They thought that they'd found a pick onto Labrov, but the rest of BDS were already in position. A lot of credit needs to be given to Shio and his placement on the map right now. He's been in the right place, the right time more often than not, and he's been able to punish some of these small plays from Fnatic. And while that was an initially good play from Fnatic, immediately the fact that BDS can shut that down.
What is it? Something? Aim for the sun, aim for the stars. If you end up, if you miss,
you'll end up on the moon. You expect me to understand pop culture references?
It's an idiom, man. It's like if you aim for the stars,
you calling me an idiom? Is that what you just did? Bro, it's uncool.
It's uncool. I'm sorry, man. I'll no longer call you an idiom.
Unbelievable.
I'll be your benefactor in that regard.
Thank you. There is one thing I do have to do.
Yep.
Reckless's tier is fully stacked.
Is that line actually in the song?
No, I just added it.
Okay,
made it up.
On the fly, the lyrical genius that is Betty.
Because I actually forgot the next line. I sing that song.
I know that you'll come crawling back.
And when you're crawling back. Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Guys, if we keep just reminding her of lyrics, she'll sing more, okay? Yeah, and then there's the B-trade bit as well. Crowny, though, looking for some damage here. Razzle's able to dodge away. Crowny can just step forward. Chain of Corruption was enough to lock Razzle in place. The Merc Treads were enough to make him escape before the grenade came down. BDS, though, still 3,000 gold ahead in this game. Crowny at 2 items. Reckless is at the same. No Mythic for him yet.
Wow, there's a big collapse here for BDS.
There's
all hands on deck. Adam looking for the flank.
Now, can Wonder get into this? There's The Azir Sunder's coming in. The boss gonna help them out as well as the Emperor's Divide is used, but Reckless has already fallen. Adam on the backline is just absolutely murdering people, mutilating, shredding them. That man's had his creatine today. Adam just destroys them in a 1v3. Wonder able to escape, but did have to burn the TP, and BDS make a beeline for the Baron.
Wow, look at this play from BDS. They are absolutely slaughtering Fnatic. They just committed 5 members top. They said, we want to go for a fight. Wonder isn't there. Even if it TP's in, it doesn't matter. And they herded them like sheep underneath the Azir tower, but it was not enough to protect them from the wolf that was Adam.
The full HP once again. Chem Soul, an option. Flash away from Crowny, but Humanoid in the middle of the gravity well, slowed by the undertow, and his death knell rings true. BDS pick up another one and turn their eyes towards the Chem Soul.
I'm not sure what the logic was there from Humanoid, because at best you knock in 3 members into what, a half health Reckless and maybe Wonder, which you can do something with, but Adam is sitting there on the flank. Your best play is to just buy time if you're Fnatic. You should just be trying to chip away at the HP bars, trying to delay BDS from starting this dragon for as long as you possibly can. But let's have a look back to the start of this fight. So again, this brush, BDS have punished Fnatic a few times this game, and they're going to find another punish. Great damage coming down.
You can't dodge these! Adam chases them down! Humanoid up next, no escape from the undertow. Adam with a double. Now in a 1v4, he's looking to make it a triple. Can't quite secure the final couple of kills, but the Elder will be forfeit for Fnatic. Maybe their entire base will lay in ruins.
Fnatic thought that they'd found a pick onto Crowny, but he was able to buy enough time and turn the fight around. Sheo and Nuke shutting down Rux right from the get-go. The Ash Arrow never even came out. Humanoid's ultimate never got activated. And you can see how quickly BDS was there to respond. Labrov offering what he can. Good sidestep from Crowny. Yes, the commitment came through from Razork, but then he didn't want to commit onto that kill. Thought he'd separated too much, and then the damage. Watch this from Crowny. Half his HP already gone, and that was this window that Sheo needed. Razork gets forced out. Humanoid's forced out. Wonder tries to split up the fight as much as he can, but he only gets him closer to Adam. And it's at this point where Adam says, okay, you've had your fun. My turn to clean things up. Humanoid realizes how much danger he's in, and he's not quite able to get away. You can see Adam just tanking all this up. He's not afraid of them, even remotely. Gets that kill, even looks for more. And then they just disengage, and they should be able to secure the Elder off the back of this. BDS have come into week 2 looking good, and they're looking to get a big win over Fnatic.
Humanoid use the Emperor's Divide there to keep Sheo away. That Cyclone has been used as well. You can see it's just BDS across the board, out damaging their rivals. Double inhibitors down now. Still a minute. Oh, sorry, single inhibitor down. Still a minute before that one respawns, but BDS trying to make it double, trying to make it triple. They continue to push in. Now, Adam has no flash, no ghost, but does have the Ragnarok. Razork realizes this, puts some damage down. The Ragnarok comes out, the arrow will connect, but only onto the retreating Olaf, and a Viking in retreat is unstoppable, it seems, as Humanoid chipped away once again. The arrows from the Varus in this situation against an Elder are just so damn difficult to deal with, because every time you get hit, he gets slowed, and it becomes very tricky for you to ever find a way to approach the fight. Razork steps in, Chain of Corruption's gonna land, and even with the Heartbreaker, he will tick and be slain by the Elder Drake. Another arrow coming out, Crowny kills off Wonder, Humanoid tries to dash back to safety, Sheo goes golden underneath the Nexus Towers, and BDS will be able to wrap this one up, taking the scalp of Fnatic in a massive win for BDS.
An impressive game overall from BDS, a 20-minute Baron, an absolute clinic from the side lanes and top and bot. And it brings them one step closer to that top 8, a much-needed win for them, and to get a win over Fnatic is absolutely monumental. Great stuff from BDS, yeah. Excited to see what else they can bring out here in week 2. Definitely a team I think people had low expectations of, but Fnatic faltering. I think that they made things difficult with their draft. Like, we saw a very similar draft from Astralis, and they found themselves with very similar issues where it's difficult for them.
Absolutely love seeing rivalries like this develop in the LEC. Shout out to Heretics and Koi coming in, new faces, but obviously storied names in terms of their presence in the Spanish scene. Of course, if you enjoyed that video, you can watch the full episode at youtube.com/LEC. Cadril, will you cast a little bit in Spanish this game for us?
I think I'll do un poco de español durante el partido. Tenemos dos equipos españoles, un clash de los equipos del país.
Sweet.
Y ya veremos quién gana.
I'm just going to say your analysis is good every time you say anything, because I have no idea what you're saying. But
I just said we've got two new teams to the league, and they're going to be playing up against each other. Two Spanish teams, two representatives from the same country. Of course, Ibai is, I mean, probably one of the biggest people in Spain, one of the biggest names in Spain. Is Sante. The Rise are the power picks that you're looking at for first picks if you're not opting into bot lane. But yeah, it's all about bot lane in this game right now. So we'll see what Koi decide to give over. Normally they ideally would like to trade, but in most cases you can't. So they might prioritize something on the top side for Malrang Shigenda and drop bot lane a little bit.
Evie, the thumbs up. He's feeling ready. 2 bans to the junglers, 2 bans to the AD, or at least the bot lane pool. And we'll have to see if both of the premier bot lane options, at least for the rest of this patch, cannot wait for the new patch, come out. The Lucian Nami still on the table. The Lulu Zeri or Yumi Zeri also still on the table. So I think this will be a tall task for Heretics if it does end up being top tier bot lane versus top tier bot lane. You'd have to give the edge to Comp and Trimby in that case.
Kalista ban. Interesting. So Lucian Nami.
Party Ruby wants it! You gotta respect it there. Ruby thirsting for the kill. Makes it a 1-for-1 in what was a very long exchange.
Ooh, those tier 1 boots on his ear paying off. Manages to close the gap, gets the kill. Will TP back here, Larson, so he won't lose too much in the lane itself, but great play there from Jankos. So Malrang based and bought Sorcerer Shoes. He must have Futures Market or something. I'm not sure how he afforded that, but anyway, level 3 coming behind.
Spectra trading, immediately going to try to get out of that one. Comp now flashing out to safety. Jankos moving in,
nice
slowly but surely. Trimby body blocking the red buff, now ticking onto the cap. I can't just leave back to safety because there's no more hearts. Easy going in on the Comp. Jankos on an absolute tear. He's everywhere on the map. Malrang going to flash, going to connect. Can just go right back up into the air now, trying to keep this trade going. Level 3 to level 4. He needs to get out of this one. I don't think they have the burst to finish him off, but they can do a lot just to get him out of the lane.
Madre mia, que partida de Jankos. 1-0 and 2 right now on the Graves. 100% kill participation. Both junglers just keeping up each other's pace. Malrang is playing Hex Flash Futures Market Elise, I think. First base Sorcerer's Shoes, just trying to find... But is he going for Drake? No, he's Hex Flashing over the... Well, red buff's down. I think he thinks that red buff's up, but... Jankos' red buff has expired. Is he going to dive mid now from this Hex Flash? There's no wave to play on. Maybe if they push the next one in. Ruby, does he base on his cannon wave? Can Malrang... He's going to stop his base.
Little pumpkin spider?
Yeah.
Nope.
Little pumpkin spider.
Not gonna do anything.
Malrang's his whole top side still up. Jack Spectra. Looks like they'll lose one wave for that, but they don't lose the dragon. Malrang's finally going to base here. Surely he goes to his top camps.
Can we just... Let's do a little quick check in here if I can get this to work. What's the XP looking like in that jungle?
Oh, Malrang.
Oh, there's Malrang. Right at the bottom. And this is what I'll say. I love Malrang because he's like the guy, whenever you tell someone to be themselves, most people don't do it. Malrang does it. Malrang does it every time.
He's not faking a persona whatsoever. This is just him. So finally we'll take his level 1 red. Will be very squishy, so that should be pretty easy to pick up. He's got his Dark Seal, got his Ampto. Herald's up.
Yeah, level 1 red. Now he's level 5, he's catching up now. Level 6 for Jankos though.
Does he do Raptors and Crux? No, he doesn't. A bit of a dangerous spot though.
Caught out, good stun, now gonna go down, they're trying to burst through. Jankos trying to shut him down. Wave coming over on the backside. Malrang will go right back down. Big damage coming in for Jankos, healing up as well. Malrang now running. Ooh, Trimby body blocking what he can, but Comp there off to the side. He's got no more mana, but he might have enough health. Jankos taken down. Jankos shut down. TP coming in, and Koi taking the fight.
Mistakes from both junglers, I think, in that fight. Malrang didn't need to repel onto the Azir so that he could get pushed into the team. Had to flash, and then Jankos flashing forward, thinking he has the damage to finish off the kill. Ends up in a kill for Koi. Bot tier 1 falls. Herald still in Malrang's inventory. No other objectives go down. A lot of ultimates used there onto Malrang, allowed for Larson to walk up, Comp to walk up. No real fear. Flash is still up. So we'll look at this one again. I think it's... Malrang is initially caught.
They need your help. They need your
stop a base. Oh, Jack Spectra, that's...
Jack Spectra, that is way aggressive. He does have the cleanse to get out of this one. Jankos is getting frisky, trying to take down Comp. There's a TP on the backside. Evie trying to find his way in. Evie leaping forward, wants to burn down Comp. Comp getting cold now. The cannon getting popped back and taken down.
Will always...
Oh, goodbye to the Yumi.
Trimby, such a hero. Saved Comp. If Comp died there, Trimby would die as well.
Evie's not done.
Evie?
He sees them winning in the brush. Larson going to be in trouble now. Evie's such a squishy boy, but it might not matter. Trying to shred through them. Heretics have found their window of opportunity. They can take this fight. They can take the Baron. Ruby now going in. That's it. They're getting everything. Koi, former champions, brought low by the new roster of Heretics on this one. Malrang cut down. Shigenda running for his life. This might just be the Baron for Heretics.
One fight happens in mid, and the game explodes. Looks like Heretics will pick up the Baron. Dragons in 30 seconds. We'll see if they can base and get there in time. Nice little hero play by Trimby. But yeah, Koi have no turn. The second they start running away, there's no re-engage to come through. No response from them. Ruby actually not helping out on this Baron. I think he needs to come towards it quickly. There's TP on Larson in 10. Shigenda's back with the Yumi strapped to him. Comp's here. It's a 3v5, but they're so low HP.
Slaughtering everyone. Look at him go! Clutch! He's on master of the LJL, master of the LEC. You cannot give this man Cassante a triple for Ruby. Heretics get the ace.
Ebby is a monster, single-handedly wins the fight for his team. All of them on his back at a numbers disadvantage. The second Koi think they can find a pick, Ebby slams the door in their face. And I think they're going to get these towers, they're going to get a tier 3, they're going to get Dragon, they're going to get everything.
And we were ready to just wait for the late game. Heretics not having it on this one, going to break open the base. See what else they can grab, but now 6K gold lead, 3.6 Red Bull Baron power play. They are dominating.
They are, and Jankos was talking on Euphoria about how this week he's got such a tough schedule up against the top teams, but a win already in the first day up against Koi is magnificent for their top 8 secure.
Would be magnificent, but that's the thing. We have to remember that they have to stay focused. They have to keep their eyes on the prize. Comps around the corner from 3 items. Well, this feels like the win, but they're not there yet.
So this is the mid fight. Jack Spectre dashes in, Comp trying to kite here. Jankos ult flashed away from Comp's just trying to run for his life. Nice flash culling here from Jack Spectre. Also dashes. Trimby jumps off there to save his AD carry. If he didn't do that, he would have died as well. He would have died as well.
Oh, no.
But it's the chase. Koi just disrespecting. Ebby just running at them in a straight line and not stopping. And Koi have no response. They have no CC. They have nothing to stop him in his tracks. Jankos, Ruby, Ebby, all of them just running at Koi. All of them trying to base. Disrespect. They fall, and then it's the re-engage from Koi on the Baron. Ebby leading the charge in the first fight, and then in the second one as well. We see what happens here is the bases come through, and it's the TP back from both the solo laners that solidifies this turn. Shigenda initially gets Jack Spectra. They look for Jankos, but he buys so much time and kites. Koi, do they have the time to get this? Looks like they'll do. Will they be able to get out there?
Down. Will make it out. Objective bounty getting the Baron now as well. Jack Spectre keeping the chase going. Ebby keeping the chase going.
Oh, Ebby. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Massive. Ebby in the midst of everyone unstoppable. Now trying to trade back and forth. He's got the ulti up and available. He's going to bring it back in the midst of the team. But Ebby just going to try to get out. Huge shutdown. Over aggressive Koi, keeping their composure, taking the objective, walking away as 5.
Looked good for a second there, but the repulse stunned up Ebby, so he couldn't actually do anything. And it's 33 minutes into the game. So many items on the Victor and Sivir. They will melt through the Cassante. So Soul picked up for Heretics, but Baron picked up for Koi. This game is not over yet, even though they have the Soul. We know how much damage the Victor and Sivir can do the later this game goes. Shigenda will be on the side lane with that Baron as well. You can see the supportive items coming in for Trimby.
And the thing is, we hyped this game up so much because of what it means for us.
He's going to pressure the Nexus. Jankos can end the game, actually. Look at Jankos go.
Splitting their attention. Jankos walking in. He's just going to try to break this one. Malrang cannot match this, but he has to try to land a stun. Smoke's great now coming out. They're going to break top and hit. They're splitting Koi beautifully. There's nowhere they can go. There's no correct fight. You're going to try to 1v1 versus Jankos. But Jankos are keeping it busy. Meanwhile, the team is going forward. Jack Spectre locked up. Jack Spectre stunned. The Victor might just finish him. No! He's still alive. Ruby coming in, scooping up the last remaining hopes of Koi and throwing them into the grave. That is it. Team Heretics going to leave them 6 feet under. Shigenda taken down. Team Heretics taking the win.
Triple para Ruby. Que partidazo de Heretics. They managed to pull off the win. Ebby had some huge standout moments. Jankos, insane early game. Jack Spectra playing with confidence. And it all came together for them in this game. 44 minutes, 39 seconds. Small windows to play on. And they managed to pull it off with those buffs. Really, really great team play. Really smart play from Jankos. As the best of 3, sorry. But yeah, insane game on the side of Heretics. A lot more of that, please. A lot more of that. I'm
more
sure
of those games.
The streamers at home were probably losing their minds. Ibai and Gregaf just going crazy. Werlib just losing it. But yeah, great game.
Player of the game on Twitter, at LEC. Evie, Jankos, Ruby are your options.
You know who it is, though. You know who it is.
I think we both know who it is. Now it is time to hear from Aranea, Heretics team director, sitting by with Lore.
Thank you, guys. And Arnai, thank you so much for joining me. I think it's been ages since we had you
pretty long
within
time.
this world. How long has it been?
I believe it's like 2 years, something.
Oh,
I was
wow.
on Mad Lions and I came here as an analyst a couple of times.
Well, amazing welcoming you again with
Thank you
Team
so much.
Heretics this time.
2023 G2. That is a big 100. 100 is a great number. Almost 5K at 15. This team is insane. This is claps, not craps of years before. Now, yeah, I get it. You might be saying that's not a fair comparison. It's only 3 games. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up, Sebastian. No one asked you about your degree in statistics. What people are asking about is Yike, or as I like to call him, Baby Canyon. Rolls right off the tongue. Yike is the hottest rookie prospect in EMEA right now, and an aggro in-your-face counter-jungling machine that will steamroll the competition. This guy is on fire, first in everything. He's #1, man. But of course, jungle diff is just lane diff. I get it, you get it, we all get it. And the good news for G2 is their lanes are always diffing. In the good way, right? You got Han Sama, a seasoned veteran, now free from the Salt Lands. He's been reunited with his old duo, Sir Michael X, who brings the spice. Like salt and pepper, these two just feel right together. I mean, look at them. Embarrassing Fnatic running them over in the lane. Han Sama on his Draven gets the earliest mythic item of all time. And then Caps, look at that flash right in front of the Abscond Abduct. It's just absolute perfection. I mean, if Caps is returning to form like this, surely there's no way he could ever lose to a Korean mid laner, right? If he just plays like this, it doesn't get any better than that, right? And Broken Blade, I mean, look at the top side. What else is there to say about him? Just look at him. He's G2's top laner, and he's a really nice guy. So they've got the early game, they've got the players, they've got the smiles, right, that can melt your sadness away. But is this enough to get them close to the peak of G2 2019? No, absolutely not. It always was and always has been about the random shit these players play. Like, seriously, what are these drafts, right? Give me some drafts. Who in their right mind plays these champions? Right, who plays this? Zach mid, Karma top lane? I've never seen anyone have fun playing those champions. Shut up, Sebastian. I don't want to hear it. No more of that. They exist. And that level of insanity is why I believe they can surpass the G2 of old. And with all of this in mind, in classic G2 fashion, I fully expect to see them lose to SK today.
Wow. What a great intro. No, we don't need to say anything else. The Broken Blade part.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
He's also
really nice guy.
Oh, Ender was still there.
Ender's still there. He's a good player. Yeah.
He plays the top lane.
It's hard because here's the thing: is that Ender big up G2, and I want to give credit to SK. SK like pulled off a sick win versus Team Heretics last week.
Yeah.
And they were doing
blue. This is the exact same situation as level 3. Are they just going to give SK a dive situation?
Doesn't have plans, Hansama! Like, that is not your push! What are you doing?
The play here from G2 is very spread out, a little bit confusing as well.
Pull back.
Broken Blade.
Solo Bolo. Broken Blade keeping it going forward here. Irrelevant. There's not really anywhere for him to go. Guy tanking the tower to make sure they can keep this going. Irrelevant. Ticking. Flash in. Broken Blade not using it. Taking the side of the tower. Boom! Oh, the big slaps from the zombie Scion.
Marcoon.
Bit ill-advised there, and Marcoon really just dominating the bottom half of the map. G2 do get the 1-for-1 on the top side, but overall, coming up very much in favor of SK.
Yeah, I have to criticize Yike's decision a little bit there. Gets the Herald, great. Normally what you do in pro play, especially in a situation like that, when you get the Herald for free and your supports helped you, you base with the Herald recall and you sprint bot as quickly as possible. Cover the dive on the way.
Push back, Caps. Could use the ultimate.
Caps. Doesn't die, doesn't go in either. Normally you base straight away after the Herald because you cover the
stalwart here, cannot let him onto the back lines. Caps now leaping back, Certus leaping forward. Of course, the crown falling away, though. Caps getting pushed back into the rest of the team. Goes in, and now they've got the dragon as well. In the meantime, Irrelevant managing to take that one away. Huge shutdown, and here comes the death ball. One after another, SK will fall. Broken Blade in the back line, trying to get anything, absolutely anything done. Mickey grabbing the kill in the end on the Sivir, but it will cost him his life as Certus goes to chase this one down. Mickey's still running, but Marcoon around the corner. There is no way out. SK taking the fight, taking the Drake, and Hansama might just be next on the menu.
Marcoon looking, no cleanse. He has the flash if the cocoon comes out. Looks like he will be safe, but 4-for-1 in favor of SK. G2 are just uncoordinated around these fights, and SK are playing it fantastically. They're doing exactly as their comp tells them to do. Stay together, group as 5, make sure they're playing a front to back. The only difference
so hard to play on hit Varus without that big beefy front line like SK has on the opposite side. And while there is some small credit that goes to Irrelevant for taking that Drake, that's a fumble from Yike. That said, the beautiful marking of Caps on the flank, the fact that SK pushed him back to the rest of the team, shut him down, did not let him, as we talked about, find a way into the back line, that was very well played from SK. Now, admittedly, are going to give up the mid lane tower here. Despite that, though, they're holding on to a pretty significant gold lead, 2.5k, 19 minutes to the game. This is the only team who's really had a significant lead over G2 the entire year thus far, and it's SK Gaming.
Game is in their hands. They have fantastic scaling. They're ahead going into the mid game, and they're sieging onto this top tier 1 X-King. Needs to be careful.
Big damage coming in from
solo killed here, maybe.
Block on the Q is in the top 8 to make it to group stage. Wins like this matter so much. Like, Fnatic hitting themselves right now.
Oh, yeah.
Had to be so frustrated because getting knocked out of top 8 would be crushing for any team.
Feels like a lot of upsets on paper, would you agree?
Yeah,
GDS
I would
beats
agree.
Fnatic. Heretics beating Koi. Looks like SK might take down G2. So the standings are shaking up. This is a single round robin. So who knows what's going to happen in the next couple days of games. But 40 seconds on the Baron. SK are just going to get topside vision, push G2 back, and rush it down with a Zero Sivir. Should be pretty easy execution. They just need to mark Graves as much as possible. Irrelevant's on his way up. Keep the waves in. And because there's no tier 2s, it's very hard for G2 to defend their own vision. If there was a tier 2 mid there, then it's much easier to play around this bush here. But once SK get that bush, and the one above it, where that blue orb is, that's it.
Kuhn stepping forward. Polymorph does come out. Exekick now chasing into the mid lane. They're going on to Hansama. Hansama can't do anything. He's drifting.
It's Vin Diesel.
Oh,
He doesn't hit the Varus. He has the flash, so just pops the Q. Follow-up comes through. This is where they try to go for the end. Little bit greedy. Even in a 4v5, SK's positioning is not great. Here he goes again.
Oh, they're just so fast. Hansama, he's just getting bullied. There's nowhere to go.
SK, not going to be greedy. They get the pick onto Hans again, but they're going to go towards Baron.
And you gotta respect it. Taking Hans out of the fight means so much of the damage is gone. In an extended fight, Broken Blade, maybe Yike can do something, but it just feels impossible at this stage of the game. Yike waiting over the wall.
He hasn't got flash. He's going to have to ult into the pit.
Can he get the steal? Knockup is there.
I think he can get this.
Lower,
They need to zone him away. They're still finishing the Baron. What are they doing?
Still going forward and gets it! Oh no, SK!
Oh my word.
They don't stop. They don't stop hitting the Baron. Broken Blade gonna dash over the wall. Walk away with the buff, dash to safety.
EU team, stop hitting the objective. This is the second time. First it was the Elder Dragon in the last game. Now it's this Baron here. SK will be kicking themselves after that. They just needed to zone away Yike as much as possible. Even just stop damage and leave it at 3k and have Certus just hitting the Graves over the wall, chunk him out, push him back, anything. But now G2 have a glimmer of hope to just try to hold on.
And the thing is, so much of their decision-making has been aggressive, but also good. They pushed their limits, they found the pick, they started the objective, but rather than wait, rather than stop hitting the Baron,
WEQ can get a kill here. G2 are running for the hills. If they can get out and get towards Dragon, then they can look for a contest, but I don't think Marcoon wants to allow that to happen. Needs to be careful though. Caps can one-shot him here. Who gets the damage off first?
Marcoon, is he gonna test his limits? Caps, ooh, shutdown coming through is massive. Certus now hunting for Yike, will not find him. Caps following is big. Now he's gonna find
the shield. The shield stopped him from getting cancelled on the base, but Caps is dead. 45 seconds on the respawn. But there's no waves for SK to play on. Mid's pushed out, they're too far away from top. They chased all the way into their own jungle, and Caps has TP. So I think kill over to SK, yes. But the flash is blown. Irrelevant and Marcoon lost their flash. Yike and Caps as well. We'll see a big dragon fight happen soon.
And I think there's just this anxiety when you play against a team with a reputation like G2 that they will find a way back. But again, on paper, when you look at these compositions, when you look how far ahead SK are, it should be impossible. And this will be an incredible credit to G2 if they can mount the comeback, but SK just have to stay focused. Their front to back is incredible. It is easy for them once they push out mid to get vision. They just have to stay focused on the objective. They cannot let this get to them.
They still have control. 10 seconds on the dragon spawn. Caps is coming out of base. Stopwatch for him. They're rushing down BB here. He has no flash. They're looking for a pick.
They have to be careful.
Hans can get a good ult here, though.
Hansama, if he can just hit the front line, it's going to be so easy for him. Irrelevant. Who is he tanking for right now? Currently, it is no one. Marcoon missing on the cocoon is massive. Knockup connecting onto BB. Not a video. Caps to the backside. Going to get pushed out. Going to get one shot. That damage was disgusting. G2 still fighting, but Irrelevant does not care. He just absolutely refuses to drop in the exchange. G2 have control over the pit for now, but it looks like SK just want to go straight for the base.
Yike's trying to get a little bit of the wave. I think he got a couple ranged minions. They need to clear out the creeps. SK only have these little 3 creeps to play with. One of them is 1 HP. Can they end?
Irrelevant still stepping forward. Irrelevant still taking all of these towers. Broken Blade standing strong. Pulls it back. Uses the ultimate trying to shred through him. Goes golden. Hansama holding on for now. Yike under the backside trying to burn through Exekick, but he just will not drop. SK will not drop, but G2 are still standing strong for now. Hansama stepping forward. Has to be so careful. He has no health. Certus now going forward. He goes golden, but that's just got to be it. It's too easy to finish the job. And SK, they've done it. They've found the upset. They will find their second win in the winter split. A triple for Exekick to finish it off.
And that one's gotta feel good. Undefeated G2 looking like the best team in the league. SK pull it off. It was very messy. They're gonna review that Baron play a half a dozen times, but a win is a win.
And credit to SK. Drafting a composition that could fight better. The crux, though, The person who had to stand up to make this game work was Marcoon, and he did so. Dives around the bottom lane, shutting down Mickey X Hong Sama, thus far the strongest performing bot lane duo. Laid low there by those dives, by that early pressure, and while BB, they did what they could on the top side with Irrelevant in the end, it did not matter. The Sion was the beefy frontliner that SK needed to win those fights.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of greedy decisions by G2 in terms of their jungle pathing, in terms of taking away camps, which allowed a lot of options for SK to look for these dives, which put them behind. But Marcoon was that bridge, but Certus was the slam dunk. His Azir performance, practically flawless.
Like Karzi and Healy, they are both really special. Like they are different humans. And I think the best way to put it is we are 5 monkeys trying to play as a team right now. Like if you hear our voice comms, just everything is such a, not a mess, but everyone wants to talk. Things are going crazy and you don't want to know screams. Like screams, in bot lane, like there is like a micro game there, like at minute 10, there is at least 10 kills. Like sometimes it's us, sometimes it's them. It's like playing roulette.
All respect to you then as the jungler to manage this circus of monkeys, as you said. Any idea of how
doing everything? He actually recorded the highest damage game in his G2 game out of these. But how can we contextualize these and what do you think happened here?
Yeah, so I mean, like one of the things I think of when I see something like this is, okay, what are the champions he was playing? So like, I'm hypothesizing maybe because he was playing the Sivir in a game where his team wants to be diving forward, maybe he just enabled them and he wasn't actually able to get some hits off. But we wanted to walk through fights from both of his 2 games, the Sivir and the Varus game, to see if he's actually finding hits in the fights.
I think in this particular fight you could see that Reckless wasn't tethering so well with his teammates. Maybe there was a mixed call, maybe he was afraid of a flank. He's also channeling his Q, so he's not really participating here. And then the fight becomes very, very divided, so he's not sure where he wants to go. He hasn't really basic attacked anyone.